Brennan, Sherman, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. You're the first guest on Indiana Wants Me.
I am very honored.
Lord, I think I'll eat there because of you and your dad and your shop. You are right now at your shop. You own a cafe. It's called Half Acre Cafe, correct?
Yep, Half Acre Cafe in Albion, Indiana.
Albion, Indiana, and that's the Hoosier state. And boy, I live in Fort Wayne, not too far from you, and you came into Home Depot the other day, and I met you there. Oh, and so you and your dad own the shop, don't you?
Yeah, my dad, he owns the race car shop, and the refrigerator here just kicked on, so I don't know if you're hearing that noise there. I can try to turn it off, but
I don't. I don't hear the refrigerator.
I work for my dad at the race car shop, and then I'm probably going to buy it from him eventually. But we came up here to eat all the time, and
How far is Albion from Churubusco?
oh, probably about 12 miles.
And it takes you 6 minutes to get there, doesn't it?
No, I don't speak.
It takes you 15 minutes to get there, doesn't it? Wink, wink, nod, nod.
So, yeah, earlier this summer, I was on my way to get breakfast. I thought, I normally go to McDonald's for breakfast. This was before we bought the restaurant. If I would go get breakfast before work, I'd go to McDonald's. So I said, I'll go up to Half Acre. They got a breakfast sandwich you can order to go. So I was on my way there. I wasn't paying attention to how fast I was going, and I got pulled over right in front of the restaurant. Like, I pulled over, and the cop was basically in the parking lot of the restaurant. The waitresses were laughing when I came in because my food was sitting in here, and I was out there getting a speeding ticket. So,
You didn't talk your way out of it?
no, I tried, but
I thought you were going to say I was going to Half Acre to save the poor.
no, I was just hungry, and just before I bought it. So,
and so that's not part of the backstory of your ownership. So your dad owns the shop, the cafe.
he owns the race car shop, and then the cafe. Me and him and my mom and my wife are all 25%.
Oh, that's cool. And what was the charm of Half Acre Cafe? Oh, and do you have a T-shirt or any signage? I guess I'll find out. But do you have any T-shirts or no?
So the charm of it, I guess we like to come.
Do you have a T-shirt?
No, not yet. I've got an idea for that. I heard an idea from my friend Steve Chrisman. He said that he was at a restaurant where on the front would have the name of the restaurant, and the back was like a local business that would sponsor it. And so they had like 5 or 10 local businesses that would sponsor their shirts. So I'm going to hit up some local businesses that frequent our restaurant and try to get them to sponsor our shirt, and we'll put their name great big on the shirt and then our name small on the front. That'll be our employee.
Do you already have the icon? Does it already exist?
They have an old logo, but my brother-in-law is working on a new logo for us right now.
If you get it to me in the next 25 hours, I'll put it on the show, but otherwise we'll use the old icon.
Okay, yeah, the one on our Facebook page on the profile picture is kind of.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about it after the show. Who owned the cafe before you owned it?
Dan and Lynette Stennett.
And how long did they own it?
I think they owned it for like 13 or 14 years.
And did someone own it before them, or were they the founders?
So I think it was started, I think, in 1999, I believe, by can't think of the guy's name. He owned a factory in Albion. And his name's slipping my mind, but
well, you can get it to me afterward if you remember it. And when did it go? The past owners, you mentioned their names. They obviously put the love of God into it, and it was a labor of love, and they poured their heart and soul into it. And that you can only go so long. And finally, they decided to stop. When did they stop? When did they stop it?
So yeah, I would say it was probably about a year and a half ago. Dan put it up for sale, and me and my wife went and looked at it, and we decided not to buy it because we thought it would be too much work. We just had we have two small children, and so we decided to hold off. And it'd been for sale for about a little over a year, and unfortunately, Dan passed away. And so his wife closed it right after he passed away because she had another job. Dan ran it with the help of some really good employees, but when he passed away, it closed down. And so we had went to a few other restaurants when it was closed because this was our normal spot. We'd come here 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 5 times a week for lunch. And
what was the great charm of Half Acre Cafe? What is the culinary charm?
Well, I would say the charm maybe for us was it was close, but fortunately, I think that their food was better than most of the other places around. And the food's really good, and usually you could get pretty fast service, and it wasn't too busy.
Name your 3 favorite dishes there. What am I going to order when I come up there this week or next?
So I don't know if I could limit it to 3. When I was okay,
your 3 favorite.
We would bring our customers here. Sometimes if we were working on their car while they were there, they would come up to lunch with us and they would say, well, what's good here? And I'd say, well, everything's good here. And I really believe that as a customer. And now as an owner, but my personal favorite, I get the chicken tender basket a lot. So we have like really big chicken tenders. They're not just a bunch of breading with a little bit of meat in the center. Those are really good.
So it's homemade. It's store cooked, right?
Yeah. So we buy like big chunks of chicken breast meat and we hand bread them in our kitchen.
See, you're getting me up there. What are your hours?
We're open 6:30 to 2, 7 days a week.
6:30 to 2, 7 days a week, right?
Yeah, and we'll make an official announcement, but we're intending to open on Friday nights in a couple weeks, like after the end of the year. So
6:30 till what time?
We might just open up from like 4 to 8 on Friday night.
That's cool. I like that. Oh, that's cool. And so the chicken tenders, does it have a name? Does that dish have a special name, or is it just chicken tenders?
Just chicken tender basket.
Tell me about your race car shop. You said the other day that did your grandfather start it, or was he just big automotive?
Okay, so my great grandfather back in the 40s, 50s, he raced where? I know back then there was a lot more tracks around. So there was a couple tracks in Fort Wayne. There was Fort Wayne, the Speedway. There was South Anthony Speedway. He raced at Columbia City Speedway. There was a lot of tracks around, and I think he raced at Villa.
Are there fewer tracks now than there were?
Yeah, I think it's kind of consolidated. Back then, if somebody had a field that wasn't producing good crops, so hey, let's put a racetrack here.
Indianapolis has Indy style cars, but they have a big track, don't they?
Yeah. Miles.
And have you ever been to an Indy race?
No, I've been to a couple NASCAR races, but I'm mainly just into short track racing. I don't particularly care for NASCAR, and I don't like the product. I don't think that the quality of the racing is that good anymore.
And that's why you like my hometown track, don't you?
Oh yeah, Bowman Gray. That
Winston-Salem, North Carolina's finest.
That's on my bucket list to go there, and I want to go to the Chili Bowl, which is an indoor midget race in Oklahoma and Tulsa.
When you say midget race, what do you mean?
So there's a class of cars called midgets. It's like a half-size sprint car.
I see. So it's not midgets racing, it's midget cars.
There is a midget that races, but his name's Rico. He actually won the race, and he's
small? He's a short fellow?
No, he's literally a midget. So yeah.
So what is the closest track to your house, to your shop?
The closest one would probably be New Paris Speedway. It's asphalt, but we mainly race on dirt, so we don't really race.
That's for me is the charm of 1,000 years ago. Daytona Beach used to. I don't know if you knew this. They used to go on the street and then on the beach, round and round, street, beach, street. By the end of the race, they had dug up half the beach from their turns. In the turn.
I actually went down where the track used to be when we went to Florida in February this year. There's like a restaurant there. I think it's like Turn 4 Bar or something like that, and that's where the turn used to be, like between that building and the next building beside it.
Back to your cafe, Brennan, as AKA Charlie. What's the hardest part of the cafe? What's the 1%, 5% thing that's kind of scary? Not scary, but kind of eye-opening.
I think just making sure that everybody's happy, keeping all the customers happy, keeping all the employees happy, trying to keep the owners happy, just making sure that everyone's needs and desires are trying to be accommodated, and scheduling people when they want to work. And if you want to make changes, somebody's going to not want to make a change. So it's just, when you have a lot more people, then everyone has a different idea. So you got to take a lot of people's opinions into consideration so that you're not stepping on anybody's toes.
I know you have turnover, but are you at liberty to say the first names of your employees?
Yeah, I could probably say some of their names, but I mean, I probably we're close to 10, I think.
All right, can you name them by first name?
Yeah, oh yeah, I know all their names. Yeah.
Say them.
I don't know. We got some waitresses. Mary, that's my
Mary.
wife.
And who? Who?
Mary, Lindsay, Brooke, April, Allie, Riley. We got Sarah and Sandy and Curtis.
How about the chefs or the cooks?
I was naming off some of those at the end. So
I see.
But yeah, we've got some really good employees. I mean, I'm the face of the restaurant right now because you're interviewing me, but it's not all me. I mean, all I really do is I do the ordering.
You're the pretty face.
I do the schedule.
You're the pretty face.
I don't do the cooking. I do some of the cleaning. I've done dishes if they need me to. I kind of organize the stock room and the coolers when we get the orders in.
Yeah,
so
yeah. What does your wife do there?
She's a waitress.
Yeah, and how about your mom and dad?
My dad, he just kind of runs around freaking out about everything.
How about your mom?
She comes in and she tries to help. She does a lot of the paperwork and the bookkeeping, and then she tries to come up 1 or 2 days a week to run the cash register, or if they need dishes done or food prepped, she'll try to do that kind of stuff.
See, you're continuing the old ownership's labor of love. You're serving Albion. And what is your catchment area? Just Albion? Is it the county or just Albion, really?
We're kind of like 3 miles from Albion, so we're kind of in the country. We're right on Highway 9, right at baseline 9. But there's a lot of lakes around here, and so there's a lot of people that live on the lakes. So we get a lot of people that live at the lakes that come, like retired people that come, and because a lot of people are at work from 6:30 to 2. So either people are retired or not working, or they work third shift, or they're stopping here in their work vehicle or their work truck and eating lunch on the go. So
Brennan, you're a good, great fellow to have taken me up on my offer to come on the show, especially the first guest. Who knows how that's going to go? Indiana wants me, but they really want you and your family and your shop, Half Acre Cafe. It's been a blessing for so many years. It blessed you and your wife and your family and the Albion and the community. You see it and you feel it. So keep up the great work, and God bless you.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Joe.